Today is Saturday, November 8th, 2025. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the listener feedback show for Survivor 49, Week 7.
Yeah, 2 shows a week. Recap on Wednesday. Listener feedback on Saturday. Hand the reins over to the super fans. Check in with them. See what they're thinking about the season as a whole. Certainly this most recent episode. And especially any predictions they may have. And, of course, this is an important week to assess the season because we have an opportunity now that we have officially merged to switch our USB in the Fantasy League, which stands for Ultimate Survivor Bonus. So your choice there, are you going to hang tight with your original choice if they're still in the game? Or are you going to switch for 10 points or 5 if they've been voted out already? Not clear, huh?
It's tough when you've got a 24 in there.
Yeah.
To give up the possible 24 points if they win. But
yep.
I really am not certain that Sophie's edit is good enough.
You can't tell from the edits.
You
they got
can't
savvy
always,
to that a long time ago.
I think we can.
Yes. Well, it's...
And it could change. I've been surprised before. And
certainly she's not... She hasn't been purple for a while now, so that's good.
No, that is...
She started out really slow, but that was primarily...
She's come into the light now.
Yeah.
But I still don't know if that's enough. But then, on the other hand, I don't know who I would replace her with.
Good question.
That seems to be more the
That's
dilemma
the question
for me. Yeah.
So we're going to be listening. Everything you say this week, we're looking for hints, looking for insights.
You're in the same boat with Alex. So
Yes. Yeah.
whether to keep Alex or not.
He doesn't have any superstar kind of vibe right now, but he's still in the game, given all the adversity that he faced.
Yes.
So, and he's in the majority as of this past vote. So, yeah, I'm wrestling with that too. And in a similar vein to what you said, just trying to figure out, well, who would I switch to if I don't stay with him? So, yes, I'm going to be listening keenly to all the observations this week. Is there any business before we kick it off?
I think you just covered it.
Okay, well, Pete is still on vacation, but we got Pat subbing in. Take it away, Pat.
Hello, Cousin Joanne and Uncle Stacy. This is Pat from Missouri calling in from Amarillo, Texas. Imagine my surprise last week when I filled in from Pete from Boston. So this week, I'm going to let out a great big woo. My woo was small for 2 reasons. One, I practiced all week and just can't quite be near as good as Pete. Number 2, that's about how I felt about this episode. Just blah. For me, it wasn't too exciting. It was a fine episode. We got a merge, but of course, not everyone got to eat. I hate that. I know Jeff thinks seeing people starve makes great TV, but he's wrong. Heck, I'll even write Jeff a $100 check so everyone can have lunch meat and cheese. My USB Sophie finally showed up and won immunity. Great. Except I was going to drop her for Soph. Now what? I need help deciding. I don't know what. I hated Nate, though. He seems like a good guy. He seems like just friendly, and I liked him. I'm leaning towards voting out Mean Girl Savannah, but we'll see. Oh, one last thing before I go. Rebecca, you telling your story last week about watching with your brother may have caused this big old truck driver to shed a tear driving down the interstate. Maybe. All right, guys. Till next week, this is Pat from Missouri. Woo!
Okay, you got one into the end. Woo! Good job, Pat. Enjoyed that. Well, Pat's struggling just like you, trying to decide what to do with Sophie S.
Yeah.
I think if I had Sophie S, I probably would switch to Sophie B, though. She's got more impetus in the game.
I don't
Knowledge
think
is
so.
power. She's going to make something of it.
Well, that could be true. And I think she has a better social game as far as but I think people will see her, shall I say, slinky side.
Yeah, she hadn't had any reason to show it because she's been on the winning side after having
And she's
the
been
tribes
feeling very
swapped.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Right
been
up
very
until
happy.
they voted Nate out.
Yeah,
So he was kind of her meat shield.
a little bit
I
of a
think.
shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we did see her talking to Sage in the commercials. So it's like, she's already starting to work. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, let's jump over here. Who's got the numbers now?
Where do
I'm
I
out
need
of
to
here.
Where do I need to go next?
Gotcha.
Yep.
Jump
Good stuff.
ship.
All right, thanks, Pat. Next up, we got a call from Rebecca.
Hi, Joanna and Stacy. This is Rebecca calling from Northern California. Back in Northern California as of 2 a.m. last night, after what must have been the worst travel day of all time. Delays, and it seems like they're just shutting down flights and canceling everything today. I got off the East Coast in the nick of time and got home at 2 a.m. And now I'm headed to work. But I was able to watch Survivor on my phone while I was delayed at the airport, and color me stunned. Anybody see that about Nate? Was Nate going to be the one to go? And I actually had to rewind and watch again because Sage seems so hell-bent on getting Savannah out, and I went back and watched Tribal Council again, and I realized it was Rizzo's proclamation of that he was going to play his idol that spooked them, and the Hina majority went to their backup plan, which obviously was Nate. As they were going to Tribal Council, I was really confused. I wasn't 100% sure who was going to vote for who at all, which honestly was refreshing and fun and exciting. I did not get a vote off point. I did not have Nate on my radar at all. I thought it could possibly be Christina because she was kind of a weak link. I did Savannah save because I had 0 points on her. I think I did Savannah, Sophie. I can't even remember who else. I'm so tired right now. I was starting to get a little nervous because Savannah's name kept being tossed around, and I thought, maybe I will lose my USB and the save point all in the same tribal council. And I do like my USB. I equally like Sage and Little Sophie very, very much. Although, Joanna, I was so excited that your Sophie won immunity. That was really cool. I was very happy for her. I'd like to see more of her post-merge broadcast now because I think she's lovely. I think Sage is so dynamic. I still think Savannah is dynamic. How about Savannah with that machete, not even wincing to kill a chicken and feed her tribe? That girl has got some fire in her, and I just hope that she does not overplay. So Sage took out Shannon, and now she's setting her sights on Savannah. Is Sage going to overplay? I can't wait to see who wins these tribal line wars. It's really interesting. I think it's really cool that Jawan and Steven and Sage were able to control this vote. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it again, but the game is getting interesting finally. I didn't know it was going to happen, and that was great. Anyway, I think that's all I got. I'm really super out of it and tired, and I don't even know if I'm jet lagged. I'm just really tired. Anyway, thank you for all that you do. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, Rebecca. Next up, we got an email from Matt and Summer in East Tennessee.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and all our Survivor friends. Not sure we've completely crossed the boredom boundary this season that Jeff has long promised, but this episode seemed to be more like the Survivor we know and love. We didn't really see something like the Bottoms Up Alliance emerging, but it does seem to be a real thing, at least for now. And while they moved all over the place during the episode, they did clock Nate early on and somehow stuck to it. We really liked Nate and could tell he is used to working in high-impact situations, so we were surprised that he didn't realize he might be at risk. But on a second watch, we noticed he didn't seem to have much one-on-one interaction. With all of his tribe time seemingly in a group setting, perhaps his real-world strength became a weakness on the island. Sage continues to display good instincts about threats, and with the Bottoms Up Alliance may have a way to do something about those instincts. We wonder if MC will get pulled into the BUA to give them some more momentum given her earlier relationship with Steven. Speaking of MC, while she gave off recruit vibes early on, she is growing on both of us with each episode. Her keyring showdown with Savannah was extremely enjoyable and we think may be a clue as to who makes it to season 50. We are really torn on USB and whether to change from Rizzo to another castaway, especially after this past episode. Probably another late afternoon coin flip on Wednesday afternoon to decide that.
You wouldn't be the first ones to do that.
Can't wait to hear what the other superfans have to say, and thanks for all you do. All right, thanks, Matt and Summer. Up next, we've got a call from Anderson.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy, this is Anderson from North Carolina calling with my feedback for the merge week. Alright, so my thoughts on the episode. Yeah, I was completely wrong. But I did not lose the 6 points. I thought I did until I listened to recap episode. Gotta make this short and quick. Next week, I think it will be Rizzo or Savannah, but I think it'll be MC, Sage, or Juwan. That's all. I gotta go. Thanks for all you do. Bye.
Anderson, you narrowed it down to 5 out of the 10. Okay, I guess that's a start. At least you got 5 you don't have to worry about to choose from the vote out pick. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Joe.
I've been eating the last of the Halloween candy and organizing my Survivor thoughts. By the way, thanks for the tip about the hamburger menu on Paul's roster. I've been going back and forth between the different timelines and the tribe makeups. Very helpful. Also, big shout out to Pete from Boston. I hope he had a great vacation. I think this is the first feedback show I heard in a long time that didn't have Pete as the first caller. Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all Survivor superfans. This is Joe from Huntersville. Can you believe we are already in week 7? I barely remember Jake and his snake bite. Then again, I barely remember Sophie S. Up until this week, she hasn't had a confessional that I can recall. Stacy, I laughed when they said they were going to Keeley Beach. Joanne called that. To my memory, isn't that the beach with the snake? So my main question is, what happened to the remaining chickens? Did they escape? Were they eaten? I think I'm going to change my USB. I currently have Savannah, but she is rubbing everyone, except for Rizzo, the wrong way. What I liked about this episode was the vote out was the first member of the jury. I'm glad we'll be seeing more of Nate, but unfortunately he will be sitting on the jury. I wish they would bring back the My Ponderosa videos. Second, they really merged the tribes. I was waiting for the stupid, we're going to vote out 2 people. Only one of them will be sitting on the jury. And 3, Sophie S. finally gets her confessional. What I didn't like about this episode was only half the tribe got the merge feast. I like it when the merge is a celebration with food. I think that all of them earned the merge. In the voting, it looked like Sage and Juwan crossed the voting lines to vote out Nate. I don't see Sage and Savannah as going to align again. Is it me, or does it seem that Sage doesn't get along with any strong females? Unfortunately, I think that Savannah is next to go, because it's been telegraphed, and this season loves placing those breadcrumbs in front of us ignorant viewers. Oh well, that's all I've got this week. As always, I look forward to hearing what the other superfans have to say. This is Joe logging off like it's 1999.
All right, Joe. Made me think of AOL saying logging off. Sage, she gets along with Sophie S. She's been looking out for Sophie S. I think a couple times now. So yeah, I think she's okay with MC. So I don't think it's just the ones that have come after her. And I don't even know that it's women in particular, but if you come after Sage, she comes after you.
Or a certain type of woman.
The mean girl.
Yeah.
That's going to be the theme based on the next on. Yeah.
Yes, but she also says, I can be a mean girl too.
Well, she's got a big thing for fakers. So
Yeah.
she hates posers, I think, more than anything. And that really
Well, you
gets her
have to
focus.
admit that Sophie, MC, and even Christina come across as very genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sophie B and Savannah, not so much.
Yeah, maybe not.
Though Sophie does it better. She hides it better.
Yes. Yeah, the chickens have gone free range, it appears, there at Kelly Camp. And Prop said in the podcast this week that the reason they chose Kelly Camp was logistics. It's like closer to base camp, so it makes everything easier.
Sure. Make it easy for you guys.
Why not? Yeah, I think they should. There's a lot of difficulty in the logistics of that show, bouncing around the different islands. Well, he said sometimes they do it too because some of the beaches they really need to give a rest, and so that's part of it. Get it cleared up. And there was an extra clip. What was it? It was at Uli, right, where they were getting papayas.
Yeah.
And that's fairly rare that there's actual fruit on the trees there
anymore because they film there so much.
Yeah.
Doesn't have time.
Yep. Thanks, Joe. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Drew.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy. Hey, everyone. This is Drew. I kid you not. It took me 2 minutes sitting in my car just now trying to even remember who went home. And I watched it with the kids just last night. I was like, oh, yeah, Nate. It's funny because he was a good character in a way. He was kind of like the straight man in the play, like the foil almost that like the crazy people are just reacting to. But he was just so even keel and level. I like that about him. Kind of more relatable. Back in the day when they used to have just kind of everyday people on there instead of these outrageous like finale types that they seem to cast a lot now. I could see how he's not moving much the parts enough to make it a really engaging option for a player. But anyway, I think it was an okay episode. I thought that the relay challenge, but I like individual immunity a lot better. I think maybe that's my thing right now. Just the endurance and the balance. And yeah, I'm going to tell you a lot of the cast this season, I don't really like them, but I'm still for some, like, I don't really like Rizzo. I don't. I know a lot of people really like him. I think he's a type that they've cast before, but I don't really like him in that type. But I'm also okay. I'll just see what he does next, that kind of thing. And so there's that. The same thing, my USB just got the first individual immunity. So she's been purple up till now, as I think Joanne said. So what do? I don't know. Let's just keep her. I did check as to the unofficial side challenge. I am in the basement, but only by a couple points. So it's not like an extreme sub basement, which is good. But I think Sage is not long term. They are featuring Sage real heavy in the story. And I think that means she's final 4 or 5, but I don't think she's going to win this thing. There's no way. I don't think people would give it to her. So I like how kind of savvy she is. I think she's kind of really involved in a lot of ways in the game, which is great fun. Anyway, I'm heading home. It's Friday. I'm going with Charlie and some neighborhood boys and dads on a little overnighter camping trip. So it's going to be cold. If you know Utah in November, yeah, it's going to be a good time. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Drew.
All right. Have fun.
Yeah. I hope it's not as bad as it's going to be here. Like on Monday, it's going to be 28. They're showing in the forecast, 29. Yeah. How is it that we're further south and we have colder temperatures to deal with?
Ever had.
Yeah. I don't... That makes no sense. Anyway.
Well, I hope we don't get the heavy snows we got last year.
Yeah.
That were so thick that it knocked the gutters off the house when it.
Yeah. I hope you guys have a great camping trip. Thanks, Drew. Next up, got an email from Tara in New York. Hi, Joanna, Stacy, and Survivor friends. I have to start by giving big props to the Sea Crate this week because it let us finally get a real merge. That's true. Yeah. That's what Prope said, that having Jake go out with the medical and having them be at 11 at that stage is why they did what they did. It's not that they wised up and figured out that they need to be doing this. It's just that's how the numbers work this time.
That's how they made it work.
Yeah. The feast was disappointing. Yeah, charcuterie board. Has it ever been that weak?
I don't think so. I thought that was terrible too. But,
yeah.
I mean, hey, any food is great. You know that's the best charcuterie board they've ever had.
Yeah. Okay,
but still, that's pitiful.
Back to Tara. Yeah, saving pennies. Back to Tara. The feast was disappointing, but no Murgatory was a step in the right direction. I hope Jeff is paying attention to the fans and the merge is here to stay. Moving on, I absolutely loved the Bottoms Up Alliance. Watching the three of them together felt very genuine, like they had found their people. Their reaction, that's a good way to describe that. Their reaction to merge was definitely something we've never seen before, and I was getting more antsy every second they stayed at camp. Yeah, I felt that too. As the boats arrived, I thought of Sage saying, "I can feel it. I can feel the fakeness getting closer." That was hilarious. Even though it made me super nervous, I could see myself dreading a big crowd, especially a crowd that expected Steven gone. Luckily, nobody really seemed to notice, and their story went off without a hitch. Nate did say in the interview that he was suspicious. They were a little suspicious of it. I'm pleasantly surprised that Jawan seems to have his head in the game now, that he's found his people too. While I think bottoms up will remain tight, Nate's vote out makes me nervous. Christina really got on my nerves this week, and I think she might be the downfall of this new majority. Right after Jeff gave his Survivor 50 speech, we got her confessional about the Mount Rushmore of survivors, saying it's time to really start playing the game at this point. Then she absolutely shut down both the Savannah and Rizzo votes. Nate was the easy vote, but Savannah would have been the smart vote. Savannah, Rizzo, and Nate were confident that they had the majority, and Rizzo even told Jawan he wasn't playing his idol. It's only going to get harder to vote out Savannah or Rizzo now that they know Sage and Jawan have flipped. Between the tension we saw last week with Christina and Sophie and Alex seeming to play the middle, I'm worried Sage and Jawan could be in trouble soon. Finally, I have a few thoughts and a question about my current USB Savannah. The more I watched her this week, the more Russell Hantz popped in my head. She just seemed so intense trying to convince everyone to work with her, forcing them to stare into her eyes. Yeah, look into my eyes. I'm the captain now. She even admitted that she was getting a little psycho, hovering over MC and diving to grab her keys for the idol. To top it off, she was way too excited to kill that chicken, no matter what anyone else thought. I wonder if we might see her go to the inn and lose because of her horrible social game. What do you think? Yeah, there could be some damage she's done to her social game for sure. I have a JSFL dilemma going into next week, so I can't wait to hear from everyone. I'd hate to give up 24 points by dropping my USB, but I can't see Savannah winning with her social game. Plus, I can't cheer for her right now. But she's the underdog. You have to cheer for her.
If you can't cheer, but my advice would be if you can't cheer for her, then dump her.
Let her go.
Let her go.
Let her
because
go.
you want it to at least be fun, to have somebody you want to cheer on, whether you think they have a chance or not. So
I would love to switch to Sage, even though I'm worried she could go as soon as next week. I wonder if anyone else is in a similar spot, so I'm especially looking forward to the feedback show this week. Thanks, Joanna Stacy, for your dedication as always. Thanks, Tara. P.S. Last week, Mary mentioned having problems with Paramount Plus. I had major problems too. I'm not sure about Mary's, but my subscription ran through Amazon Prime. I ended up canceling it and getting Paramount directly instead. It cost the same, and I haven't had a problem since. Just thought I'd mention it in case it could help.
excellent.
Okay,
Good to
thanks,
know.
Tara. We have it straight through Paramount Plus, and we still have trouble too, though. Next up, we got a call from David.
Woohoo! Hey, Joanne and Stacy, this is Pete. And okay, I know you know it's David in Pittsburgh, but I figured Pete might still be on vacation, and I felt somebody had got to cheer because for me, this was the first episode where Survivor finally kicked into gear. And I have to say, I never expected Nate to go home that night. I had him as safe, and I was going to pick him as my next USB, and now I have no clue where to go. I think Sage and Jawan did that really well, faking the rest out. But I'm just surprised that Savannah and Rizzo and, well, Nate had said he felt something was up. I was just surprised the other two didn't feel that as well and said to each other, how do we know that this is true? Because it seems so out of character for Shannon. Other reasons I like this episode, when they merged, they did merge. It wasn't mergatory. When the two tribes were fighting against each other on the puzzle, and Soph said right away what the answer was, I just kept yelling at them, why were they moving so slowly, putting the yellow pieces together when the blue tribe was coming up from behind? But then in the end, if you looked at the two puzzles, you could see how the blue tribe put the TH in the wrong place. So they could have gotten it, but they just put it in the wrong row. At Tribal Council, I liked Rizzo's fake out. He kept his idol, and he got him and Savannah safe because they didn't want to take a chance, so they voted for Nate, unfortunately. And the fact that they took a safe choice when they had a chance to make a big move makes me really not sure who to go with, to who I think is going to be the winner of this game. MC had an idol. She could have used it more to her advantage. She gave it up. And I just don't feel she's a good strategic player. And Soph had a chance to take that idol for herself, and she didn't play it either. So, again, I'm just not seeing... Jawan and Sage made the biggest move so far. I don't think they're going to make it to the end. I think people aren't going to trust them. I think it may change. It may flip again in the next episode. To be honest, I have no clue who's going to win this game. I'm going to go with Sophie only because she's getting more airtime, but that could be because she's going to be eliminated soon. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, David.
Well, there's still a lot of things that could happen because they chose to pick off an original Uli. Mm-hmm. And yes, Sage and Jawan and Stephen are in an alliance, but that doesn't mean Stephen's also got the opportunity to go back with Sophie S., MC, and even Christina to get numbers. And if they, have Alex and Sophie, pull them around. So there's still a lot of different ways it could go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. True.
Because there's 4 original Uli still in the game. And if they decided, oh, wait, are they going to pick us off after we're in the minority? Will they continue to get rid of the old Ulis?
Yeah. I was just looking at the roster. Happen. You saw 2 original Hina go, and now we've seen 2 original Uli go. So is it time for another Hina to go? Thanks, David. Next up.
I don't think so.
Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana, and I really enjoyed this episode. I thought that it was another big improvement for this season. It's probably my favorite episode of the season. I always love a merge vote, especially when it's just a normal merge, which this was. I mean, I don't care that they didn't all eat the feast. I know that the players probably do, but for me, it's not something that ruins the merge. And keeping they have to split up into teams for the challenge. Only half of them compete in individual. That stuff, fine. That I don't super care about. If we're going to do an amalgamation of a normal merge and earn the merge, this is the way to do it. I feel like this worked pretty well. And I thought that this episode had what I love about a merge. It's all the different relationships coming together from all the swaps and all the cross-tribal connections that exist now and everything going on like that. I thought it was super fascinating. And initially, I figured that Nate would be okay just because he's been a big presence on the season. He's been a good narrator, and he seemed to be like the grounding force of Uli. But as the episode progressed, and once it was clear that Sage and Jawan were not sticking with Uli, I feel like Savannah and Rizzo have been set up to make it a little further. Although now, maybe they go soon. They've just gotten a big story because of that. But I don't know. Anyway, so it kind of made sense for Nate to be that vote story-wise, because it's kind of like an old school vote where you just take out the person from the other tribe that's been a leader or someone holding that tribe together, and then you take them out at the merge. That's kind of what it reminded me of, is just like a classic old school merge vote. I did feel bad for Nate. That was a bummer. But I'm very impressed with Jawan and Sage. Let me tell you, Sage has had a big shift in her story. She started playing really well, and everybody's been giving her credit, and it's been great. I'm so happy for Sage. Initially, I did not like her. Now, Jawan, I've always stuck by, but it seems everybody still gives Sage credit, but not Jawan. Listen, Jawan's been pulling his weight. He's been carrying stuff. He is doing a good job. He played this episode flawlessly, and if you can't see that, if you can't look past the narrative that Savannah has built for him, or just like his goofy demeanor, his awkwardness, his social anxiety, whatever it may be, his appearance, then you just need to check your biases. If you can't see this guy is actually playing, am I going to keep him as my USB? I don't know, but I don't want to hear a bunch of like, oh, here's Juwan, bumbling idiot, da-da-da-da-da. Like, no, he's playing a good game. And if you can't see that, that's on you. Okay? Also, Sophie S. is not purple anymore. We don't need to keep calling her Purple Sophie. She has a story. She's there. If you can't see that, then you're not paying attention. Those are my 2 rambles. I don't need to hear Purple Sophie. It's like Genevieve. We called Genevieve purple for so long. She's not purple. She wasn't purple. We're so quick to be like, that player, they're purple. Purple player. Purple Kelly had 2 confessionals in 9 episodes, guys. That's purple. Anyway, great episode. I really loved it. But put some respect on Juwan's name. And Sophie is just Sophie. She's not purple anymore. Okay? Okay? She's there. Chill out. All right. So we got it. I will see you all next time.
Aye, aye.
I love the passion. Thanks, Parker. Next up, we got a call from Kim.
Hi, everyone. This is Kim from North Carolina. That was a satisfying merge episode for me. I like Nate and predict that he will be an influential jury member. I think the vote out should have been Savannah, but I feel certain she'll go next if she doesn't have immunity next week. Rizzo's words obviously mean nothing. I hope that he doesn't use that whole, I'm going to play my idol no matter what, to BS his way out of getting any votes. Sage and Juwan could have conspired with Nate's crowd to vote out MC, but then tell her to play her idol. That way they could have safely split the vote between Savannah and Rizzo, who are both, I think, bigger threats than Nate. I doubt Rizzo will play the idol for anyone else, but obviously they felt differently out on the island. I agree with Stacy that Sage's instincts are very accurate, so she's on my list of who's up this week. Also, I think MC and Steven. MC may be able to be quietly amazing and make it really far. Then again, maybe not. Who's down? Savannah. She gave me the big icks when she was watching maniacally while MC tried to get to the idol. I just don't like her. And also maybe Rizzo and Soph. Although I'm feeling that Soph may go far. She and Alec may cook something up later on. Right now, the GOAT to me is looking like Christina, possibly Juwan, but I need more data to understand if he knows what he's doing or if he doesn't. It seems obvious to me that Sage and Steven are kind of running the show right now, so that group that they voted with to get out Nate will have to implode, and I could see Alex initiating that, and also, some of the original Hina may realize they want some credit for making big moves. I'm kind of looking for that to happen since everyone keeps saying that the season gets really interesting now, and maybe there'll be a lot of back and forth. Thanks, everybody, for all your input. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for everything you do. I know adjusting to the East Coast changes the timeline of your amazing podcast activities. Take care, everybody. Bye.
We've been feeling that, haven't we? Thanks, Kim. Good job.
They could also, they've got the numbers, there's so many of them.
Who's they?
Against everyone except Savannah and Rizzo. Even Sophie B, I think she would jump ship in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. And but even if she stuck with them, that's only 3 votes. They can split the votes. Mm-hmm. So if Rizzo wants to guess who to play for, then hey, we'll put your name down, and if you play it, you don't go. If you don't, you do. Yeah. Because they got the votes.
Catch them on the revote. Yeah.
Yeah, unless somebody else decides to make a big move and flip.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure they will until they would get rid of someone they didn't want to play with, like Savannah.
Yeah, the big wild card's going to be that idol/advantage being rehidden now that MC's played it. So that's probably going to be a big factor. Everybody's going to be anxious looking for that.
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And because nobody's going to want Savannah or Rizzo to get it for sure, and probably even Sophie B.
And who's got experience finding them? Rizzo. So
true.
Yeah, Sophie B and Savannah have some experience. Yeah, definitely. Good deal. Thanks, Kim. Next up, got an email from Jack in California.
I have not sent in much feedback this year, but I have found the last few episodes to be pretty good. Nothing has really been a big standout, though. With this recent merge episode, I find it interesting that Sage, Steven, and Juwan didn't go and greet everyone when they arrived at their camp for the merge. Their reasoning just doesn't make much sense to me. I do think they could work well together, though. If I was out there and was playing with Shannon, I have a feeling that I wouldn't have bought their lie as to why she was voted out last. The merge advantage challenge was a pretty powerful one, skipping the first part of the challenge completely and going straight to part 2, which always seems to be very tricky, especially the balancing on the last platform. I don't know what I think of not everyone getting the merge meal and having to earn it. I feel like if they get to the merge, it makes sense for everyone to participate in that. Yeah, I do too. I think they already earned it. Jeff's announcement that spots are available on next season kicks this next part of the game into a higher gear, and I'm interested in seeing how that all plays out and how the two spoiled castaways make their impression known, because right now, I don't see it. Lastly, I will say Rizzo is starting to grow on me. I wasn't a big fan of his at the beginning, but I am enjoying his antics and how he's doing out there. I do feel sorry for Nate going out, but I can kind of see why he did. All right, thanks, Jack. Good to hear from you. Up next, we have a call from Johnny.
Hey, Joanne, Stacy, and Survivor friends. It's Johnny from Wisconsin calling here. I just wanted to say this is a really fun episode. It was unpredictable. There was all sorts of twisting and turning that everybody was trying to think on their feet there in the last couple hours before Tribal. I really, really enjoyed this episode. It did have me on the edge of my seat, and all the idle play and advantage play was fine. I think it was good. But now looking ahead to next week, we have the trio. We have the Rizzo, Savannah, Soph, B trio, and then we have Steven, Sage, and Joanne, this new trio. If these two trios were to work together and make 6, that I think probably is the most likely scenario I'm seeing to try to target MC, try to target Sophie S, and because these two look like they're going to be pretty good in challenges. It's also unfortunate that maybe Steven doesn't seem as safe as I thought he would be, but I don't really see him going home next. We'll just have to wait and see. As for my Soph Opera Sophie B story so far, this USB 24 that I've still got, I think I'm going to hang on to her. It's been very exciting watching her play, watching her get food a couple episodes in a row now, so she's going to be good to go socially, and just overall a fun player to watch and see how she's going to keep shifting and working other groups to keep herself going in the game. The one player that concerns me the most for Soph is Alex. I think Alex could blow up her game if he really wanted to. At least for now, he's going to be passive and he's not going to move too early, which is smart, but that's the only guy I think really worries me about Soph's position in the game. That's it for now. Super excited to hear everything else, and happy Veterans Day, all.
All right. Thanks, Johnny. Next up, we got a call from Justin.
All right, Justin's back.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and all the Survivor superfans, it's Justin from Michigan. So I thought this was a really great episode. It's almost as if larger groups with more possible options of people to vote for is better than the smaller tribe format. Yeah. Take notes, Jeff. So things I want to really talk about in my listener feedback is the Savannah and MC struggle to get the advantage. A couple things here. I thought it was interesting when Savannah saw the keys trying to grab them. Kind of similar to when Alex and Jake had the ball and chain. I wonder what would have happened if Savannah would have secured it. So she grabs it first. She doesn't have the box. The beware advantage is MC's. So could she just hold on to that key ring and prevent MC from opening it? I don't think she would be allowed to open the box based on our previous discussions, or I think there was some clarification that you can't steal beware advantages, but she could have prevented MC from getting the idol. So that would have been interesting. Didn't happen, but something to think about. And then once she burned that bridge, I thought, going for that and then saying, oh, but I want to work with you, MC. Sure, MC could have been more responsive to that and less standoffish, but really, you're trying to steal this away from me and now you want to work with me? Come on. So I thought MC was smart to play her idol, even though she didn't get any votes. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Sophie B's, or I guess we're calling her Soph. I'll probably still call her Sophie B. She has this knowledge is power. She finds out that MC has an idol, and they're probably assuming MC is going to play it. Would it have been best for Sophie B to steal that from MC and kind of drive the vote towards MC? I went back and forth on this. I actually think it was smart for her to hold on to this. She wasn't getting any votes. Yes, it was, Nate is in her core alliance, but she's not in immediate danger right now. I guess it's better to hold on to this, because if she does do that, she makes that big move, she probably leaps to the top of the target for next round. Everybody would say, wow, Soph is the most dangerous player here. Instead, we still have Savannah and Rizzo that are kind of standing out as the top adversaries on that side. So I do think it was smart for Sophie B not to use it in this instance, as long as in the future she can figure out who else has something she can steal and use it to her advantage. Sad to see Nate go. Kind of went out on a whimper. He wasn't a big part of this episode, but between him and Steven, I think I like this result better. As far as my prediction for next week, I think I'm going to go with Joanne. I think Savannah's going to come back with a vengeance. Whether she goes for Joanne or Sage, I'm not sure. I think they will probably try to weaponize Rizzo's idol, either play it for Rizzo or Savannah, whoever they think is being targeted, and then vote out either Joanne or Sage, and I'm going to guess it's Joanne. So that's what I'm going with, and looking forward to what everyone else has to say.
Awesome. I like clocking that prediction there. The thing I'll say about the keys is that ring of keys was chained down. If you go back and look, that great big chain, just like we saw when Sophie B found it there on Kella Beach. So it was chained down to something. I don't know that there was an option that she could have, that Savannah
grabbed it and ran with it or something.
Yeah, I think it was secured to that location.
It's like, please, Savannah, against MC.
But it is an interesting thing to ponder. Say it wasn't, or there was a way to get it up. Could she have blocked it? Because if she didn't get it that night, that day, by the time they went to tribal council, then that idol goes away.
But Savannah wouldn't have known any of that. So.
No, but she just
Or
would have had
what
to
it was, or
hold on to it or hide it so she couldn't get it, and then it would have canceled it out. Assuming she could have gotten it free from that location.
What if Soph decided to try to convince Alec to join her and
Alex, yeah.
Savannah and Rizzo?
She did. She did make that pitch.
Now. Make another pitch for him now to join them, use the idol somehow, and get somebody else, Alex once voted out. Or, they could get more numbers that way. They could pull somebody else in, I don't know. Savannah might still be going after Jawan because the commercials show him really reacting to her. So is she trying to bully him into joining back with them, or
or did she chew him out when they got back?
Or trying to shame him into...
I don't see anything they have compelling for Alex. I don't know what her pitch would be to bring him in. That
Final Four?
Yeah, but he's at the bottom. That's not enticing at all.
Not if it's fire and he can build fire. Gives him an opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know that he's a known fire maker. So
well, I don't know either.
Yeah.
Probably my guess would be no.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Justin. You gave us a lot to talk about, a lot to think about there. Next up, we got a call from Jill.
Hi, Joe and Stacey. Hi, Survivor fans. Jill in the Outback here. Sorry I didn't get any feedback in last week. I was too busy celebrating Shannon going. And this week I'm sad to see Nate go, but if it was going to be between him and Rizzo, I'm glad it was Nate that went, because Rizzo's growing on me in a dorky little brother kind of way. It was really nice to have a normal old-style merge this week. And I want to know how much of that is down to Jake being bitten by the snake earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. And if it is because of that, then we need people to be bitten by snakes, dry bitten by snakes more often. Juan is an interesting player. He comes across as really competent, knows the game, has good strategy, and then doesn't. It's really weird. And it was good to see Sophie with an E a bit more this week too. Maybe she is going to start doing some things that are worthy of getting a bit of screen time. It was interesting to see that they showed another chook being killed this week, and I think that they wouldn't have done that in the time of the Sia money. But now that she doesn't seem to have that influence on the show, they are showing that kind of thing a little bit more often. I'm wondering if Savannah got a little bit of kickback from maybe some vegans on social media this week. I'm sure they wouldn't have liked how much she relished getting in there and killing the chicken. I'm glad MC got her idol, and I'm glad she played it too. I think that was the right move. She must have known that once Savannah knew something, everyone was going to know it. I do love a good face drop at Tribal Council when somebody thinks everything's going their way and then it doesn't. And Savannah's this week was a pretty good one. Smug look, and what the heck happened there, look. Can't wait to see what happens from here on out. Rizzo's idol and Sophie with an eye with the knowledge is power. I don't think this is the best episode of Survivor ever, but it's definitely on the way up. So hopefully good things to come in the weeks to come. Happy days, everyone. Bye.
Happy days. Thanks, Jill.
You know, I'm kind of liking and this is weird because I think this was the same in my final four was MC, Sophie S, and Steven. And I'm really liking their games. Mm-hmm. More so than the other people right now. And wouldn't mind seeing them at Final Three.
I think of those three, Steven seems like he's doing the best, but that just could be because of the way he's been featured in the Bottoms Up Alliance.
He has been doing way better than I thought he would, too. And I really like Steven. I'd be okay with a Steven win. So, even though he's not my USB yet.
I'm not sure. Sophie S must have a decent social game because people are looking out for her. But I'm not sure about MC's social game.
Yeah, I don't either. I can't get as good a read on her.
She's got more of a loner feel than a big social
and it feels
threat.
like she's more conscious of withholding parts of herself, like not trusting, not opening up completely.
Certainly with good reason.
She shields herself. Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel her shielding herself and not being able to open up as much as like Sophie S is just, she looks like I'm an open book. I'll say whatever, do whatever. Don't care. But MC is more reserved, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And
certainly
I think
Sage doesn't think Sophie S is a faker because Sage wouldn't be looking out for her if she did.
Yeah. And I don't think she is.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks again, Jill. Next up, we got an email from Josh the Plush Moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, I enjoyed the episode while it played, but it left me kind of empty after it was over. I share your sentiment. I like Nate a lot, but his exit was kind of a nothing burger story-wise.
He deserved more than that.
A safe choice, but not a satisfying one. Here's my other observations. The remaining Kella formed the Bottoms Up Alliance. If I was stuck on Kella Beach, I'd want a drink too. Nate was stoked that the tribes merged because he wouldn't have survived the next tribal council. Oh, wait. That's good. Sage, Steven, and Jawan have a lot to learn about hosting housewarming parties.
Real.
Shannon was a driver of chaos. Camilla was a driver of buses. Which would you rather have? For someone who hates fakes, Sage does a great job of faking things herself. Oh, the irony there. Sophie wants Hina to make sure they get the key. How? By having Jawan hide the keys? Thanks, Sage. Hippy dippy woo woo is now part of my vocabulary, and that's not fire. Rizzo is young. Someday he'll realize that being social is a strategy, not something separate. Blue Sophie, yellow Sophie, what happened to purple Sophie? Savannah isn't sensitive in her dealings with chickens or goats. At the merge, people look for any reason to vote someone out. In Culpepper math, Sophie rounded down is Soph. They're interchangeable, so one is a spare, and keeping only one Soph works. Someone at the merge meal is a millionaire. At Alex's DC swanky fundraisers, many of the dinners already are. Diners, yeah. Sophie needs the necklace to feel confident. I need a laugh track to feel that way about my jokes. Okay, I got your laugh track, I guess. Once again, the survivor gods gave immunity to the intended target. Why am I not surprised that Jeff asked them how they wanted to handle the Sophie, then told them what to do? It's the merge episode, and we finally had a straight merge. Jake, we appreciate your sacrifice. I'm sure I'm wrong, but Jawan gave off some Gabler vibes this episode. More Kaiser roll than Kaiser Sose, though, at least for now. Did Jeff give away the puzzle phrase during an earlier part of the challenge?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. The immunity necklace has a shark. They must have expected Shannon to wear it at some point. Jeff finally acknowledged that being a reality show contestant can be a career. Does it come with benefits and a pension? Sophie won immunity for her mom. If she wins the $1 million, she's keeping that for herself. Once again, 14-year-old Jeff popped up in the immunity challenge. To quote Marvel, "Nuff said." At the merge meal, Sage was so happy that she tooted it was true to her brand. Indeed. After drawing things out to make them awkward, Savannah decided to not be a psycho. Too late. Like many meals at forced gatherings, there was an awkward silence when the food ran out. I laughed when the editors gave Savannah the Charlie Brown adult audio track while MC worked with the keys. Shame on Jeff for using a season 50 carrot to stick us with big move-itis on season 49. Savannah is small, has big wild eyes, yaps, and sometimes lunges. Is she an attack chihuahua? I'm going to see that now. Every time. Rizzo wants to hold the idol and know where it is. Soph likes knowing where it is, too. Christina isn't a physical threat, but she was a threat to herself in the falling hammock. Yeah, they clowned her really bad with that. You know, they didn't have to show that. Sage says big groups are her monster. Groups bigger than one are mine. Why is Savannah no longer a reporter? Did she get fired for pulling Gotcha's interviews during puff pieces about Girl Scout cookie sales drives? The hard-hitting stories. At Tribal, people talked about wearing red shirts. Have they not watched Star Trek? I love seeing Savannah's expression go from smug to chagrined as the votes were read. My Kella theory was correct. Eventually, Jeff got all the remaining players to Kella Beach. Next time, with apologies to Jan Brady, it's Savannah, Savannah, Savannah. In addition to former reporter, will she soon be a former Survivor contestant? That would be nice. Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks, Josh. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Jeremiah.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy. Hello, Survivor friends. This is Jeremiah coming to you from my car. Sorry about the audio here, but I just wanted to make sure I had a chance to throw out some of my opinions for this week's episode, which I thought was easily the best episode of the season. And most of those feelings are coming from the fact that I did not see this coming. I really did not have Nate on my radar. Luckily, I didn't have him picked to be safe. I really thought that this vote was going to go the way of Yuli, and I didn't see really both Jawan and Sage going with the other side. I could have seen Sage for sure, but Jawan was somebody I thought would have gone back to Savannah and Nate and Rizzo. So that took me by surprise. Do I think this was a good move for them? Probably. I mean, they definitely were on the bottom of their tribe, I think for sure. I am a little confused, though, why they still didn't go after either Savannah or Rizzo. Considering they were playing double agent, you would assume they knew all the information they were getting from those three people, and that they would know that he was not planning on using his idol, you would think, but maybe not. Maybe they thought Nate was the safer vote. And, you know, let's face it, Nate was just as much in charge of this thing as Savannah. I felt like those two were really calling the shots for the most part. At least that's the way the edit made it seem. But as they alluded to in this episode, Savannah is definitely the more dangerous of the three, in my opinion. And I do think not taking a hit at her might come back to bite them. As we saw in this episode, Jeff Probst did tell these contestants that a spot on 50 was open. And from what we understand, Jeff did say that this is the moment in the game where things really heat up. And we are in store, according to him, to an exciting finish, which I'm here for. I'm excited. If we're going to get some really interesting gameplay, this is great news for us. But when you put all of those factors in, the edit we've had so far, that makes me think that one of those two, either Rizzo or Savannah, is going to go far, maybe even potentially win. That's kind of the read I'm getting on this situation. So if I was looking to get a new USB, which I'm not, but I think I might still consider those two, I would also consider Steven and MC. I have Sophie B, and I still like her position. I like her edit. I would not be surprised at all to see her win. So she's 24 points for me. I'm sticking to her. So, of course, as usual, I have no idea what's going to happen next week. We need to see more of this play out, but it should be interesting. Rizzo has an idol, so I think he's safe. I'm just going to need more information to make my final decision, and hopefully the listeners will help me with that. All right, well, that's it for me. You all take care. Until next time, this is Jeremiah from Southern California.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeremiah. Yeah, I would have I don't think there's any way I would let go of Sophie B if I had her as my USB. Because if she takes that knowledge as power and yanks Rizzo's idol and votes Rizzo out, it won't be, I don't know that that's immediate, but that would be such a power play for her to flip the script. And like you said, if she starts building up an alternate alliance, if she lays the groundwork now, like with Alex and with Sage, there could be like this huge game-winning play that Sophie B pulls off.
Well, and if her conversations with Sage work,
pay
and
off,
if they pay off for her, and she's got hey, we can bring Alex in and possibly even Jawan, and pick off some of the others, because she was in an alliance with all of them. So, but I don't know how Sage really, or Jawan, actually, feels about her. I know he thought she should be the first one to go out of Uli because she was an original Uli. But I don't know how Sage feels. So
You're talking about Savannah?
No, I'm talking about how Sage feels about Sophie B.
Okay. You said she was an original Uli.
No, I said she wasn't.
Oh, wasn't. Okay. Gotcha.
And that Jawan wanted her out first because of that. If they had to go to tribal council again, he wanted her out as not an original.
Right.
And so there could still be something to pull them together if she was able to pull Alex in and if they could pull Jawan and Sage back in. I mean, this thing could flip both
back and forth. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because you made the point, are you about to make that? You were pointing at the roster about the last one being original Uli, and then the one before was original Hina. Is it time for Hina again? Because there's two. It was two original Uli with Shannon and Nate, and then the two before that was Jason and Matt, original Hina.
Right.
And you said, is it time for another Hina?
Yeah, that was just like 20 minutes ago I said that. Yeah.
Well, making that point again is that...
I can't tell what you're saying, though.
I was trying to show a way of that they could pull it back together, because it appeared at the end of the last episode that everyone is gunning for Savannah and Rizzo, because they were. And but I don't know if it'll stay that way or not. I mean, absolutely, I would probably want Savannah out, and definitely Sage sees her as a big threat.
Yeah. Sophie B could put herself in a great position. She could tell Sage, I can guarantee you that Rizzo would not play that idol for Savannah if you want to vote Savannah out.
That would be a good move.
That would be huge, right?
Yep.
I think that would...
Come with us. We'll get rid of Savannah. You and Jawan come back. We'll bring in Alex. We have the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of pitch I was talking.
Gotcha. All right, Jeremiah. See, you got all that strategy, all those ideas flowing. Thanks, bud. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California, and here are my thoughts on Survivor 49, Episode 7. Back at camp, Sage, Jawan, and Steven confirmed that they trust each other, and for them, tribal lines are no more. At the other two camps, it's the merge, and everyone is going to report to Kelly Beach. I mean, I was surprised by that because I guess they have chickens, but I thought that they would go to a better equipped beach like Hina. I don't think it was a good look for the three of them not to meet the other boats on the beach. Discussing the Shannon vote off shouldn't have been that difficult of a thing. But then again, I'm not there, so what do I know? But why did they lie, though? I felt like they lied. I didn't see Shannon going crazy or freaking out, kind of like they were saying. It was just Shannon playing too hard. And I think that was something that everyone saw. So again, I'm all for lying on Survivor, but not lying about things you don't need to lie about. I think the Advantage Challenge was pretty cool. It was basic. Look for a key, no puzzle, just eagle eyes and some luck. I liked that. Sophie and Alex reunited and talked about how they could still be aligned, but really, I don't think they're still aligned. I'm not so certain they're going to look out for each other, which is fine. I think it seemed like it was fine with them, too. I don't think either of them are going to look back. Okay, I'm going to talk about something not game-related, but it is game-related, and that thing is the whole Sophie Soph thing. Am I the only one that thinks the whole, I'm going to call one of you Sophie and the other one of you Soph is not a good thing? Sophie S and Sophie B, how hard is that?
Right.
Unless Sophie B is called Soph in real life, I think that's not fair. That would make me feel very uncomfortable to have someone call me by a name that wasn't something I was well familiar with. It would throw me off my game, literally. I cannot stand listening to Jeff say Soph, and I'm just wondering what is wrong with Sophie B and Sophie S. In my life, I go by 3 names. I go by Jennifer, Jenny, and Jen. Everyone in my entire family calls me Jenny. Pretty much only that, and only there. In my professional life, I am Jennifer. Nobody knows me by any other name. And all of my friends and even family and even, actually universally, I'm called Jen. Anyone can call me Jen. But if professionally someone were to start calling me Jenny, I'd feel odd about it. And if anybody in my family called me Jennifer, I'd know I was in trouble. I guess what I'm saying is names are important to everyone. It's the most beautiful music to anyone's ears is their name. And so I guess what I'm saying is I hope that Soph was agreeable to being called that because it looked like she was assigned that by Sophie S. Okay, back to real strategy. On a final note, I think they took out the wrong person. I think it was the time to take out Savannah, and they chickened out. I think Rizzo was not going to play that idol for anyone but himself, and if they could have made him feel in such a way that he needed to hoard it or keep it for himself or play it for himself, Savannah would have been an easy vote off. Anyway, I think it was an opportunity lost. I like the trio of Sage, Joanna, and Steven, but I think they needed to hit a bigger target than Nate while their alliance was still an unknown. Just a thought. Can't wait to hear everyone else's thoughts. Till next week.
Excellent. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I'm with you too. That's Sophie B, Sophie S. That's easy. That was odd to have the Soph thing. It doesn't work.
Well, it does work.
No, I mean Soph. That doesn't, as a shortened name.
That is a shortened name. But I have heard people that are Sophie that, hey, Soph.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I haven't.
So it didn't sound that awkward to me. But that's usually a nickname your friends do.
Yeah.
Or your family, Soph. And not Jeff Probst on national TV. But it depends on how she feels about it. She didn't speak up. So you could tell Sophie S. wanted to be the Sophie.
Yes.
She did not want.
She took charge of that.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And I like the directness. I'm a very direct person myself. And not everybody responds well to that. But I'd much rather know where people are coming from. It's like, I don't play games or that kind of thing. So, but, and I think she's the same. So Stacy gets shortened to Stace.
Somehow that flows okay. But
Joe.
when you shorten Sophie to Soph, it feels like you cut it short. Like it's not. I don't know. Ending on that F sound doesn't seem complete somehow.
Yeah. See it. It doesn't.
Maybe that's
bother
just
me
familiarity for me. Okay.
I think it's just, it works for some people, it doesn't for others. I mean, what else is new?
It gives Sophie B the chance to say, I'm the Sophie now, when she votes Sophie S out.
Or to speak up and give an alternative.
Yeah.
Say, no, Jeff, nope, just say Sophie B, that'd be good.
She is deeply under the radar at this point, so maybe she was fine with that for that reason.
Yeah, she probably didn't want to draw attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And
no rocking the boat right now.
I don't think she would hesitate to give him grief about it later on if she chose to.
Mm-hmm.
She's not the shy little girl that she's kind of playing right now.
Right.
Kind of quiet and sit back. She's like, no, that's not her true personality. But she's working it pretty good. So
yeah, the not me strategy can be very effective.
Yep.
Good deal. Thanks, Jen. Next up, we got a call from Paul.
Hey, Paul in Louisiana here, and boy, am I pressed for time. We are about to head to the airport to catch a flight to London, and of course, we couldn't watch Survivor last night because Channel 10 was being uncooperative. So we ended up watching it this morning, Thursday, and I updated the roster, but now GoDaddy, who hosts it, is having issues, so I'll try again just before we head out the door. First of all, I had a hard time buying Joanne and Sage's story about why Shannon was the one voted out. I thought they were selling it a little too hard and that Joanne was sweating too much, but then again, when isn't he sweating? Oh well. And color me as someone who dislikes seeing chickens delivered to a tribe. We don't eat ours. After all the eggs they've given us, they're pets. So right off the bat, I couldn't help but notice how Savannah was front and center during this episode. She was high on confidence and as bold as can be. But her cheeky smile certainly disappeared when Nate got voted off, and I hate to say it, but I like that. There's just something about her that rubs me the wrong way. Also, I was thrilled to see Sophie S. get some airtime. She sort of balances out the Savannah feelings that I have, because it turns out that I think I really like Sophie S. And, you know, I was kind of worried that we were just getting more screen time of her because she was going to get voted off. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. And I guess the last thing I could think of is that I believe big moves happen later in the game. There's just too much scrambling after a merge to make a big move because the lines haven't been drawn yet. So I'm saying that Savannah goes next, and that's about all I can say because I still need to finish some packing. Alas, I won't be here next week, and the roster will certainly be late. I have my picks in, though. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you all in 2 weeks. Bye.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul. Hope you guys have a great vacation. And he did get the roster updated before we got it up on the screen. Been looking at it this whole time. Yep, good deal. Well, any deep insights, any shifts forthcoming?
I've been sharing those
Have you been
already,
swayed? I know, I'm asking for conclusions.
Really
We're at the wrap-up.
Still pondering it. Part of me wants to just stick with Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is like, well, who else would I go with? Because I don't think deep down believe that she will win.
Mm-hmm.
But as Jeremiah said, it's really tough to let go of that 24 points.
Yes, it is.
And most of the
sunk
time
cost
I
to
would
buy
just
us.
go, I'll just do it because I don't know who else to vote for. But I don't know. I'm liking Stephen. I like him, but I'm not sure she could. Well, I'm not sure she could get votes. Stephen, I think, could, but I also think Sophie B could.
Yeah, when I was listening to Jen and then Paul, it kept running through my head. I think the women they've got better stories so far this season. Rizzo's story is a bit of a clown story. Savannah's story's super aggressive. Sage has been settling scores left and right.
Yeah.
It just feels that way.
But how many friends is she making? I'm not sure.
Well, she made a pretty powerful alliance.
Yeah, she did.
With Joanne and Steven. This bottoms-up alliance is compelling. I like that.
Well, but come on. She was getting rid of Shannon. She'd have aligned with anyone
Necessity,
else.
you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody.
I don't know. They seem to be clicking. Maybe
Well, they might not have stayed that way, but she would have temporarily aligned with anyone to get rid of Shannon, I believe. Anyway, that's neither
Alex,
here nor there. They did gel very well.
Mm-hmm.
Or it seemed like they did. But I think Stephen, that's to Stephen's benefit, because I think he's selling it, whoever he's selling to. I think he's selling it.
Mm-hmm.
Or himself, I guess I should
Well,
say.
so he's certainly the glue to the rest of the numbers, right? He was the
Yes.
path to Sophie.
Yeah.
Well, Sage had a relationship with Sophie S. too, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Stephen
she
was a
liked her.
connection to Christina and MC.
So I really believe it could go so many different ways still with the alliances that there could be a lot of flip-flopping around. And
I really thought Alex's political skills, I thought maybe we had the makings of an American King George kind of player. But
really?
he's not. No, I mean in the beginning of the season. That's what I was hoping he would bring to it.
Delusional.
Okay. Yeah.
King George is King George.
Well, it's different to see the execution, and Alex has brought none of that at this point. So
Alex seems...
I guess I would easily switch to Sophie B. She seems more compelling as a path to a win than
over
Alex does.
Alex, yeah.
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 And
definitely.
Jawan has been a bungler. He's doing okay right now, like Parker was saying. He's definitely been carrying some of the weight.
He's got two sides to him. He really does. And
I can't help but feel like he could still goof it up too. Like he could say the wrong thing at the wrong time, or he's just got that kind of energy.
I agree.
I don't think Christina, like someone was saying, Christina's got goat energy right now, even though it seemed like her and Sophie S. were the ones who originally settled
her,
on Nate.
And I think she's played way harder than we gave her credit for in the beginning.
Well, she made the merge, so absolutely she outdid my expectation there. I owe her an apology there for sure. She did good enough to make the merge.
But for some reason, I don't want to give up on old Hina. But I could totally see Sophie could slide around in those groups and get herself a lot further too.
Yeah.
If not to the end. So
MC's threat level feels like it's going to go up. She's got that kind of meat shield energy where she's going to be this perceived physical threat that they were going to want to get rid of at some point.
Yes, if she does that, it'll get to the point where if she doesn't win, they're going to go after her just to get rid of her.
Rizzo, Fizzo, like I said, he's got clown energy, and he does that Mickey Mouse, the 1930s Mickey Mouse voice all the time. So I don't take him seriously, even though he's thinking about strategy and trying to make moves.
He is, but I'm not taking him seriously either.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems like somebody compared him to Cochrane #1.
Oh, South Pacific Cochrane, the bumbling, fumbling Cochrane.
Where he really loved the game, wanted to play the game, but when it
alienated everyone.
Yes.
Now, see, Rizzo's social game's way better than Cochrane's first game.
It is, but I don't think he's there making the enough of an impression to get him.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts. What's the response to this big setback? And how are he and Savannah going to handle it? Are they going to blow up on people, or are they going to take it in stride and find a new plan? I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I can't see Savannah taking it in stride. I think she's going to have to at least blow up first.
Let's just say Sage is successful and takes out Savannah. What's left? Because her game seems to all be about revenge. She's like clearing the board of the mean people or the fake people. And who will she have? Where will her energy go at that point?
Well, if she gets on to Sophie B, it will be at her. Because I think she likes most of the other women.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't feel as threatening or as fake.
Savannah's "I'm the captain now" energy just doesn't feel like I'm not gonna switch Alex to her.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
If I had her, then I might keep her.
Yeah.
But
see, now
I wouldn't switch to her.
I'm coming back to Sophie B again. I'm just gonna skip over her because I've already said that. Alex to Sophie S. She's gonna be a competitor, but again, I don't feel like she's been
a competitor
in the individual challenges. Yeah, but she's not like a census leader. She's not
don't know how much of a competitor she is.
She just won individual immunity, so I'm struggling with your assessment.
I mean, and that they get into the bigger things in the endurance stuff toward the end usually.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how she would fare up against somebody like MC or even Sophie S.
We're talking about Sophie S. What are you saying?
Oh, no, I wasn't. I was talking about Sophie B wouldn't be
I skipped her. No, I skipped over. I've already talked about why Sophie B is
what were you
compelling.
Saying about
She doesn't seem like she's a shot caller. She's just always in reaction mode. She's not in the an action with a plan mode. So that's why I hesitate to consider her.
I think because Christina's always trying to make her shut up, quiet her. No, baby, don't say that. Like when she was telling Jeff, give us some protein. She's like, stop, before he takes it away. we're happy for it, Jeff. Thank you.
Okay.
But Sophie was still going on about it.
Steven's a possibility. There's definitely something
Steven's
there.
definitely a possibility, in my opinion.
Yeah, going from Alex to Steven might be a trade up. Yeah, I guess I see that a little bit. I'm still...
I would say it was.
I don't know if it's a recency bias listening to Jeremiah, but the Sophie B path still is more compelling right now. I got to noodle it some more, but this was great. Good listener feedback show. A lot to mull over as we consider. You're going to hang with them. You're going to make a shift, all that. We want to thank everybody who took the time to send in your thoughts and predictions this week. We loved hearing from you, your thoughts on the episode season as a whole, and then how to think about the Fantasy League and the USBs. I want to say a super big thanks to Tara for your subscription donation. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. It goes towards our operational costs.
And if you're playing in JSFL, remember, make your picks for one person voted out and 4 people you think will still be in the game at the end of the episode.
This is also the only opportunity you have this season to add or change your USB. If your USB's already been voted out of the game, you can select a new one for possible 5 points. If they win the season, that's like the easiest thing. The real dilemma comes with, are you going to shift?
Yeah. If your USB is still in the game, but you want to change to someone else, you may do so for a possible 10-point bonus if they win. But we caution you to be sure that is what you want to do before you change it. Because if you changed your mind again and wanted to go back to them, you could do that, but you will still only get the 10-point bonus. If you move away from them at all, you cannot come back for a 24-point. It doesn't work that way.
Hopefully that's clear. That's a one-way door. If you shift and then change your mind,
Yep. There's no
you just
going back
forfeited
to
14
24
points.
Yep.
Yeah, possible points.
So, and don't forget to click on submit, because even you did that a while back, right? Or you said, oh, I almost did that. I forgot to hit submit, and then you went back and redid it.
Yeah, I think so. At the beginning of this season, I'd missed it.
Yep.
I mean, caught it. All right, we're excited for the next episode on Wednesday. We'll be back then with our recap show.
All right. Have a good one.